Anyway, how would you like to build your downline? Everybody want to build their downline? All right, well, Nadine and I are starting to teach school on October 26th. And you all got a flyer. We will, on the registration form, which I didn't hand out, there's a spot that says referred by. So if you refer us students to our school, we will try and protect you if they come to Keller Williams and make sure that they use, sign you up as their sponsor. Anybody here have anybody that wants to go to real estate school? Okay, I'll get you some. I'll get you a registration form. I'll get you one too. Anybody else? I'll just put them in everybody's mailbox. How about that?
There you go.
And then we can build the office so we make more profit, so we can get better profit share.
Where's it going to be held?
What's that?
Where are you going to be doing the teaching at?
Right here. In this state-of-the-art training facility. It's 7.5 weeks. We're teaching every Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 10. And it's starting October 26th, which is a Wednesday, Nadine.
I know, somebody corrected me on Facebook.
And I think it ends December 14th. And Tasha is taking the course. All right, any questions?
Is that an entrance parts of it?
It's, well, years ago when we took it, it was practice and fundamentals or whatever.
Right.
And now it's all one course.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all in one
So
big
you're
book.
What's the cost for it?
It's $395, and
Total?
that includes your book.
Well, so you're ready to take the test.
And it's a huge
Well, I paid
endeavor.
double that.
I'm very nervous about it because it's 4 hours a night. It's a huge thing to bite off for the $10 that we get. So we're really doing it to grow our office, so please support us. It's much better to be teaching when there's people in front of you than you're just standing there after you did all this prep work. Same for our classes. Please attend our classes. Every day there's a class. If there's something else you want to see, something we're not putting out there, stop by my office or put it on Facebook. Sorry, just a little commercial.
It's all good. All right, I think we have another speaker.
Can I ask a question?
Wait, question?
I have a question about the training. Is it just
Go ahead,
Pennsylvania,
I'm sorry.
or will you be doing New Jersey too?
We're not doing New Jersey yet,
Okay,
but we'll look into that.
okay, thanks.
Hello.
Can I just introduce Mike Cono from First American Home Warranty Company?
Hello. So I am your area manager for First American Home Warranty. I see a lot of familiar faces here. I know I haven't met everybody in this office yet, so this is a great chance for me to meet some of you that I haven't met, and a lot of you that use First American I still haven't met. So I'm excited to meet you all today. Do you want me to
Tell us what you
do
do.
my whole spiel now? Do you want to?
You have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know what a home warranty is, a home warranty protects all the major systems in a house, basically. Protects your plumbing, your electrical, your built-in appliances, and it protects your HVAC stuff. We offer free coverage during the listing period for the seller. So if you have a seller, you're gonna get free coverage while the house is on the market. Then it transfers over to the buyer after closing. So what it really means for an agent is it's a great risk reduction tool. Yes,
Does that free coverage cover the HVAC?
it does not. It's $60 if you want to cover the HVAC.
And how do you set up this for your seller?
Okay. You can do it online. We have an online portal that you go in and set up your account. Go in, enter all the property information, and the contract's active right away.
Does the seller's portion of that eat into the year? They give
It
to
does
us?
not. It's 6 months. If the house doesn't sell in 6 months, then we can extend it for another 6 months. You just have to request that we extend the coverage.
And what if it doesn't sell?
If it doesn't sell, we cancel it, and you wouldn't owe us anything.
Unless you use it, right?
Nope,
Really?
even if there's a claim.
Wow.
It's a
So-
fantastic product. Use it on every
Thank you, Nadine.
listing.
I appreciate it.
It is.
So,
It's a
and-
fantastic guy.
And that being said, I would ask that you don't just put the warranty on all of your listings, that you're having a conversation with the seller and explaining the benefits of the coverage to them and getting their buy-in. But stuff happens, I get it, so we do let you cancel. Yes.
Sewer line, water line, from the street into the house.
It'll cover blockage up to like 120 feet. It won't cover if it caves in or anything like that.
That's that one for Bucks County where the sewer location.
Is there any other questions? I like this. This is even easier. Yes.
I was looking yesterday for seller coverage. Where is it on here?
So on the
Oh, here, for someone?
this is showing what's listed right here, and then the extra $60 if you want to add the HVAC.
Thank you. First American just paid for my washer.
I like that. We don't cover roof. And if you look at, the warranty companies that do cover roof, it's usually $150, $200 patch. It doesn't, nobody's gonna replace the roof, unfortunately.
Hey, Mike, I have a question.
Yes,
How about the hot water boiler?
hot water boiler, like for a radiator system, we do cover it. It's got a $1,500 maximum limit on that type of
Do you mean
heater.
the coil, the hot water coil, and an oil heater?
It's the boiler is what we had.
I think if it's a boiler, that's a radiator system, right?
Well, it's a hot water source.
Yeah. Right, so so if it's a water system, we cover $1,500 of that. So it should be a max of $1,500.
The heater, or is the boiler's actually the heater? The boiler cracks, the heater's no good.
I still think it's a max $1,500 on that system if it's a water-based system.
Really?
That's pretty much everybody. I have to look at the
But you guys
exact.
cover hot water coils, which is your water heater inside of a,
If that's considered
that's the water heater. They don't have a-
geothermal or water source heat pump,
It's summer, winter, fall.
well, I don't know the answer to that. I can find that out, sure.
Yeah, but
Okay,
boilers.
I will find out. Anyone, yes?
So if you have if you have a policy for your listing and nothing breaks down during the listing, however, something is identified as a result of an inspection, is that covered?
It depends. If you put you take out a warranty, then a month into the listing, you do a home inspection report. Is what
For
you're
instance-
asking?
For
So-
instance, the buyer. Let's
Okay,
just
so
say-
the buyer does that. It would still depend on if we determine it was in working order when the contract went into place. If the home inspector came in and said, something's cracked on the heater in the home inspection report, we probably won't cover that. I mean, we might, if our contractor comes out and doesn't say it's a pre-existing condition, we would cover it. But
Okay.
if we came out and said, no, this is cracked something on the bottom and that's a pre-existing condition, we're not gonna cover it, we might ask, if you had a home inspection report that said it was in good shape, we would probably cover it, but since it's gonna be on the home inspection report, we probably wouldn't cover that.
Okay, thank
If that makes sense. Everything has to be in good working order when you take out the policy, basically. Yes?
I'm the one that called you yesterday. So have a client who got a warranty in 2013, has kept his warranty since then, renewed it every year, having an issue. Based on a home inspection, are they gonna? That's
Well,
different
it's,
than
in your
home
case,
inspection.
we should, because he's had the warranty. If there hasn't been a lapse in
Right.
coverage for 3 years, yeah, I'm sure they'll cover that, because when he didn't have a water heater in his house, was it a water heater? What was it?
No, he has a heat pump.
A heat pump? We didn't have heat for 3 years. So, they're reasonable about stuff like that.
Right.
We don't think you took out a warranty to pull one over on us 3 years in the future. They're pretty,
Yeah, you caught it.
yeah. So yeah, that should be no problem. I'll get with you on that and get that one resolved for sure. Yes. Now, if it,
They said basically because of exposure, they can't be using it because of the
If the home inspection report says it's in working order, even if it says it's nearing the end of its useful cycle, we will cover it. In fact, that's your proof that it was in working order when you took the warranty out, so yes. Yeah. It is covered, yes. Now, when we send a contractor out, if it's an old unit, the contractor might say it's a pre-existing condition. That could happen, but if you have the home inspection report that you can send in to us, then that's your proof. So anytime you have a warranty, you have any type of service or maintenance done, that paperwork will help you if there's ever an issue with a claim. You know, if you just had your AC unit serviced and then it breaks down 3 months later, we send a contractor out, the contractors make mistakes, and the contractors sometimes will say it's a pre-existing condition. You could say, well, no, I had it serviced 3 months ago, it was working great. So that becomes, good documentation to keep. So tell your homeowners to keep that stuff. It's an $85 service fee when we send a contractor out. And then that money basically goes to the contractor, that goes towards, whatever he's repairing. That's why we charge that. Yes, we do offer cash out. The way we work, we will have to send our contractor to go out first to find out what the issue is, and then after that, you can either choose to have us repair it with our contractor, or we'll work up a cash out amount to give to the homeowner, and they can do it that way. You know what, that is really, with appliances, it's really a good deal. With HVAC stuff, we're paying such a reduced rate to some of our contractors. You usually don't make out great with HVAC stuff. Water heater, appliances, you usually can do okay with it. Yes? Yes.
The brochure says 65, I just want to make sure it's actually 85.
It's 85.
I'm sorry, what's the
Yeah.
south?
Oh. Wait, what? You know what? That's my. They shipped me. No, they shipped me the Mid-South brochures.
Now it looks like maybe I'm looking at the wrong page. It says Mid-South, so then I was looking.
It's a brand new box that I just opened this morning. So now all of you have the wrong brochures. That's amazing. It's not even Monday. Yep, let me get them all back. You can see how much cheaper the cost of living is in the Southeast United States. That's what we've learned also today.
Does he really want them all back? He wants them.
All right, so I will get everybody new brochures before I leave today. Yes. Yes. So the way it works, you take out the contract. The seller's not going to write us a check. It's all going to go on the closing paperwork and get taken out of the closing proceeds. And I put my stickers on this all this morning too. I thought I was ready to go.
But then is there a waiting
Yeah, can we pass out? Can I at least give cards out? These I'm pretty sure are my right. All right. Looks like me. Yeah, call our Tennessee area manager.
There's a question.
Yes.
But then is there, if we give them out effective the settlement date, they pay for it on the settlement date, is it effective that date too?
Okay, that's a great question.
Or is there a 30-day waiting period?
If it's a new real estate transaction, as soon as you take out the warranty is going to be in effect. We give 30 days for payment because most of the time it's a title company that's sending us a check.
Okay.
So if you had just a buyer that wanted to buy one on their own, you can put the order in for it, and then the buyer technically has 30 days to send the check in. So it'll be in effect that exact day that you take the warranty out. Yes.
I don't know if you guys have ever looked at my for sale by owner presentation and then my listing presentation, but in it I have a page on the warranties. Houses with warranties sell for an average of 24 days faster than houses without warranties, and an average of 1 to 1.5% more in sales price than houses without warranties. So if you have a $300,000 house and you get 1% more, it's $3,000 more than enough to pay for the warranty. And that's the way you sell it to your sellers.
Do we have a copy of that?
You may.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, what's funny is in the northeastern United States, warranties are attached to something like 20 to 25% of real estate transactions versus California, Texas, where it's like 70%. People just, I think it's sort of the distrusting nature of people in the northeastern United States. I don't know really. And the reality is the older homes and the older construction up here really do benefit from, the colder winters, you benefit more from a warranty in this area. So I think it's just getting the word out to agents and sort of educating them, letting them see, this is something that can help me and help my clients. Yes?
All right, this is all right, close your ears.
Okay.
Okay, so home warranties are not perfect. They're great, they're a great tool. And when you have your buyer get one, I would suggest you say to them, look, if you put in a claim and you're having an issue, please call me, because there's nothing I can do as your realtor if you don't tell me. And then you as the agent, when they tell you, oh, so-and-so never showed up, your job is to call Mike.
Yep.
And say, hey, what's going on? Because he's our rep. Hey, what's going on? My guys aren't being serviced. I just called him yesterday. I'm sure it'll be taken care of. It'll be fabulous.
And that's part of my job too. We have a huge company, so many moving parts. There's so many legal parts to the contract, so many steps in the process that there are times that it gets jumbled up along the way, and then I can get involved and I can sort of smooth things over and get it back on track. So that is certainly a big part of my job.
Well, and they're dealing with third-party companies. It's like if you go into Home Depot and say, I want carpet. Home Depot is not installing your carpet. First American is not fixing your house. They are calling Joe Bagadonas, HVAC, to come out, and hopefully Joe Bagadonas does his job. So why don't you say your number out loud so everybody can put it in there?
I will. I'll be happy to. It's my cell phone number if you want to write this down or put it in your phone.
Put it in your phone.
It is 267. It's 267-642-3630. And it's my name, Mike Cono, C-O-N-O, at firstam.com if you need to email me. Yes, sir.
Kind of do warranties, I never really pushed them on the listing side ever. How much transfer?
Well, so when you first take out the listing, you're gonna enter the warranty information. Once you get a buyer, you're gonna get the buyer's contact information, the title company information. You go back in and put that in. Yeah, what it'll do, it'll automatically, especially if the title company is already in the system, which 95% of the time they are, it'll shoot an email right to the title agent and it gets, all handled at closing that way. Anyone else? Well, all right. I got lunch out there. Are they having lunch yet?
Well, we have one more piece of business.
One more piece of business.
Okay, forget about the lunch.
No.
I'm still putting the lunch together.
Mike, thank you so much. Thank you for lunch, too. John, I'm going to turn the whole meeting over to John. And we won't be too much longer. I know lunch is important, so just hang in there just a little bit more.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I cannot believe how many people are here. Isn't this awesome? We actually have to build a bigger training area. It's like, this isn't big enough for us. It's awesome. I mean, I love to see activity happening in here. This was an exciting thing when we started to expand and have the opportunity to expand. And we want to do something special this morning for a special person. And I'm going to get emotional. So just know it. This person means a ton to me. And I know he means a ton to many of you. We want to dedicate this room to Paul DeAllen in the back there. Thank you. You may be seated. I wanted to just say a few things about him and the impact he's made on my life, and I'm not sure I'm going to get through it. Bear with me. Yeah, thank you. I'm blessed, personally and in business, spiritually, because of that man. He has been my mentor since I was a teenager. Some of you don't know this, but I started dating Carrie, wave, back there, my wife, when I was 13, I was 12, and she was 13. And I believe it was in 10th grade, Carrie knows, she still has the note. In 10th grade, she was in 11th. I wrote her a note and said, I'm going to marry you.
Aww.
And I knew it. And Paul was in Vietnam when she was born. So his story, for me, kind of starts in 1967, the year before I was born. He's a Vietnam vet, and the blessing that God brought to us happened in 1967. He was in line to get his orders to go to Vietnam. And I'm going to try to tell the story correctly, Paul, and you can correct me later. But he was in line to go to the front line with his buddies that he trained with. And someone walked into the room and said, "Where's Private Allen?" And he said, "Right here." And the man said, "Come in this other room with me." And that man asked him, "You went to college?" And he said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "You have clerical skills, don't you?" And Paul was like, "What?" I think. But he was like, "Yeah, I can do office work if you need me." They sent him to Saigon, correct? In an office and no combat. And many of his friends did not come home alive. It's a true story. If you do not believe that God was not involved in that, you're wrong. He blessed our family, he brought him home, and I entered the picture in the 80s. I'm here to continue his legacy. Many of you know that. His legacy is so strong. Do you know that many of the top agents in our marketplace are former Allen Realty associates? Berkshire Hathaway, their top roster was from us in the 90s. Cole Banker has some. Remax has a bunch. I'm telling you, the impact that this man's had on people's lives has been great. And it's been even greater on mine. I told you he's been my mentor. He taught me when I got into I called him. I was a baseball player in college, and some of you know that. And my goal, I majored in baseball when I went to college. I had a business degree, but I really went there to play baseball and to make it in baseball. And I blew my knee out toward the end of my career in college. And it became evident to me that I was too old with a knee problem at that point, and they didn't want me anymore. That I was going to have to get a real job somewhere, and I didn't want to work for someone else who, could tell me what to do and when to show up and all that stuff. And I was entrepreneurial in spirit. And I'd watched Paul at Allen Realty, and I had a few friends like Todd Pratt and some others who worked for him. And I called him one time because I was thinking about my future and I was about to graduate from college. And I said, "Do you think I'd be good at real estate?" And I think he said, "I cannot believe you're asking me this, because I always wanted to ask you if you'd be interested in real estate, but I didn't want to pressure you or stress you out because it was my business." And I said, "Well, what does it take to get your license?" And he said, "We just take class."
You can mail like Tic Tacs.
Yeah. And I didn't have to be that smart. So Carrie and I took our classes in 1990, and everything happened from there. But at Allen Realty, he taught us something. We had 5 offices, I believe, Paul, correct me if I'm wrong. We had Newtown, where I was, where Berkshire is now, where I met Nadine, and Mike. Like to, yeah. That was my lucky day, yeah. We had Allen Realty in Yardley on Main Street. We had Allen Realty in Ben Salem, actually across from where the Ben Salem office is now, in that shopping center by Acme, or it's the old Acme, right? I guess, yeah. We had one in Farrell's Hills. It's now a cigar shop or something, I don't know. And we had one in Doylestown. And we were the #1 brokerage by far. And people used to tell me everything Paul touches is gold. Because he's just successful. There's nothing he can't do. And I saw that firsthand. And he had, back then we used to do a lot of print advertising, like the Homes and Living magazine, some of you that remember, these old magazines that used to be out. And on every one of our ads, it said, actions speak louder than words. And when Keller Williams came around, I realized what a good fit it was for Paul. I was at Remax, he had sold Allen Realty, he had a non-compete, so I couldn't actually work with him for 3 years. And when we opened up this office, this book came out. And I remember thinking, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, who needs all that? I mean, why work that hard, you know? Poo-pooing this thing a little bit. But it wasn't about the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You know what it was about? It's not about the money. It's about being the best you can be. That's what Paul was about. It was about being the best you could be. It's not about the money. It was never about the money. He taught us at Allen Realty, right, Nadine? Right, Mike? Who else was at Allen Realty? Anybody? Okay. Yeah. He always taught us referrals are the lifeblood blood of your business. If you treat your clients correctly, they'll refer you and they'll be repeat for you. And we used to always joke, and I still do today, I'll see you in 3 years, I'll see you in 5 years, I'll see you in 7 years, right? Everybody gets the itch, at least 7 years, right? Some of my clients I'll see every 2 years. Some of you know that story. But he taught us it wasn't about the money, it was about the people. He taught me how to see the good in people. He taught me not to judge people. Why? Because of our shared faith in God. That we were forgiven. You know, I think there's a section of the Bible that says, if you have no sin, you cast the first stone at the person. You know, we believe that, and at the end of the day, we have served in different places together. We've served at church in leadership. In some way, we can't help being leaders wherever we go. We don't necessarily even want to be, but we get pulled in because we care about people. And at church, we changed our church where I go now. And his dad was the pastor there for 38 years. We had a saying when we changed our church, people matter to God. That was what we were about. What are we about at Central? People matter to God. That's it. That's why we do, and Dot's smiling because she's a member there. He also taught us to treat people and do things the right way. Don't cut corners. That's why we have Barb as our compliancy person here, right? You guys can't get paid unless you're compliant, right? It's a pain. It keeps your butt out of hot water, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you're glad we have this, right? I mean, really. It is a pain. You're missing a signature, you're missing a, initial. But when you get it all in, you feel good, right? He taught me to serve God, which is an interesting thing I wrote down, I think.